Hey chat, how we doing today? I am finally free from obstacle course hell. It is time, chat, to squash and stretch some bouncing balls. And yes, I am a little bit off my rocker today, but that happens. It be like that sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to pull up the first file, and this one will probably look a little bit familiar to y'all. This. And already Blender is complaining. Why? I'm sorry, Blender was complaining. OBS was complaining, rather. Hey, Likely, how you doing? I'm not gonna ask what that means. I mean, hi, damn autocorrect. Considering what I just said, I wasn't entirely certain. Alright, so we've got this thing going on. So, this thing, which just bounces in perpetuity, just keeps going. So, for this one, I've got a little bit of a checklist here. So, these are the notes that I've taken here. So, add squash and stretch to vanilla bounce animation, which is what this one is. Make two different types, so we're going to have two different balls bouncing this time around. And that's just, the fall needs to be reduced to account for extra motion, which every time I move something even slightly weirdly, all of my stuff disappears. Like, damn it, Windows, I need to disable this function for real. Because, like, who made this the default? Keep things that's supposed to be at. That's been like that for at least a month now, if not longer. Don't worry, there's more shitty grammar where that came from. Anyway, where was I? Right. So if I duplicate this thing, so if I duplicate this ball and move it off to the side, is that going to keep the animation? Because if not, I can just duplicate the animation anyway. But this base thing here is not keyframe, so I can just move this over. In fact, I can even... Can I move this over? Yes, I can. So I'll move it over to, say, -2. That should be good. Alright. Now, if I duplicate this... Ah, that only duplicates that, though. So I need to grab this entire collection and duplicate it. Actually, I can just duplicate from here, can't I? Duplicate collection. Yep. Just make sure this one's selected. I just want the roof on it. Oh, dang it, did I grab one? Bruh. The joys of having to move one of these at a time. Wait, I can just focus on this one specifically, can't I? There we go. Grab this one and positive this time around. So now they should be, yep, exact same bounce. Perfect. Alright, time to enable the squash on this one. Now, I want to do two different types of squash. I want it to, the first one I want to have stretch out like right at the really top. So, the idea is to, for this one, to have it widen. So, all the way down to the bottom, where it hits here, and then squashes out. I'm also drawing on mouse. Kill me. And then this one, I actually want this to be perfectly circular. And then, like, roughly around here, have this start to stretch out before hitting the floor. And then, like, just do the same up this way for both of these. Right. So, I said in the notes here that the time it takes for the ball to fall needs to be reduced because the way that this is going to be stretched out, it's going to make it look strange if I keep it at the default 13 frame drops. 13 frame drop height rather. So I hide this one here just so I can work on this. This I think I'm going to reduce by 2 maybe for a start. So this is gonna it's a lot sharper. I have to take these into account. Stretch. Oh, it's because I didn't grab all of these. So I'm second multiple, so now this should be going at the free rate. Now for the arcs on this one, I'm going to scale them back a little bit to account for the new motion. So it's not just hovering in the air. Okay, perfect. So for this one, it's going to be rounded in the air. I'm going to get rid of the annotation here as well. There we go. So now I need to focus on the squash and stretch here. So I think at frame 4 I'm going to start stretching this out a bit. So grab these. How much do I want to stretch this by? Probably not a lot from the start. So GZ probably minus 1. Yeah. I also need to remember to keyframe this. I need to insert for all these, I think. Or only... No, only the Z needs to be keyframed here. And then I'll do that. I'm going to have this stretched out to 0.2 on this frame. And then by the time it hits on frame 13, it's presumed to have hit the ground. Or frame 11 rather. Got to update the done here. Update all paths. Why is this still showing this frame 13 that it hits the ground on? Did I forget to update the path on this? Yes, I did. Okay. Alright. I tried to give my balls jiggle physics last night, but they just got contorted. Yeah. What method did you try to give them jiggle physics, if you don't mind me asking? I don't really know a lot about it, but it'd be interesting to know. Maybe on... Okay, so frame 11, this really needs to... Really needs to hit the ground. I added the Wiggle Bones add-on. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'm not too satisfied with how this is working right now. Do I need to scale the both of these out, perhaps? Just update that so I can actually see what's going on. Body. Insert single keyframe. I feel like it's... okay. Insert keyframe. Just singular. Thanks. So it's only moving this one here. That's a little frustrating. Oh, right. I forgot that this needs 3 frames of contact at the bottom to account for the squash. Okay, that's a bit silly of me. I did completely forget to do that. So for the body, how am I gonna get this to be 3 frames? And then these ones here. Handle type. Vector. And then squish this down before having this go back up again. Yeah, that was a newbie mistake. That's my bad. So on frame 12, I want these to be squashed. Like, really squashed. And then this. Yeah, squish this too, so if I go back into this, am I high? Like, I feel like this should have been... Also, I feel like the timing for this is entirely off. What did I do? Well, it sounds like you're having fun with the music. Oh wait, I know why. reason why it feels off is because it is. That's a bit better. So I want the stretch to be contacting the ground but not squishing into it. So maybe I only want to be moving the top then. It feels a little bit unorthodox. I can work with it though. But then becomes the problem, if I get rid of all the keyframes to the top, then it's just gonna not do what I want it to. So I guess maybe I only have the... Wait, but I moved the top keyframe. It's the bottom one that's the issue. Alright, let's just nuke all these and see what happens. Sorry, is there a top frame? Oh, right, yeah, there is, for obvious reasons. And then... Okay. So really move this up. And then really move this down. And then side. And then what frame does it hit the top 23? Okay, of course I need to... Look how weird it looks without the animation, right? Like, it just pauses and freezes at the bottom. But the first ones, like, that looks natural. So if I grab this and cycle it, if we modify cycles, so now this should really be rubbery. I think I'm going to add a couple more frames in here. So I'm going to go for like here and just duplicate this. So grab this one and this one as well. And while I do want it to be cartoonish, I don't want it to be really weird. Okay, so then this needs to... So one frame before, 2. So now if I play this, this should look perfectly. Okay, excellent. So that's the first one done. And then now we do the second one. So again for this one, just shorten this by a couple frames. So now this should be like that, and then of course I want to add a bit of padding around the frame. now it should pause for a couple of frames. And then these ones I need to about them. So it actually stays on the ground. Now for this one I want the stretch animation to first of all start a bit later, and second of all I want it to be a little less overly stretched and cartoonish, you know? Water. Oh yeah, scale these back a bit. Cool. So should be good. And now I think I want to have this probably three frames beforehand. Have it start to move outwards. So make a keyframe here. So on frame 7, I want this to be keyframed. Then on frame 11 or 10 rather, I want it to be probably about that much. And then on frame 11, okay, it is auto keyframing. I was just like, is it doing its job? Cool. And then shift D that to the other side. And then how many frames between here? 1, 2, 2 frames in between. 2. And then frame 21 for the ending. Okay, so it's doing that weird janky thing again, but if let's control shift M. Yep, there we go. So if I look at these side by side, okay, I think I took a little bit too much off of the animation. I think it needs to be a frame in between for everything here. I think the timing on the squash and stretch is fine. Maybe not. But if I look at this here for a second, it's uneven. Have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not uneven. Strange. So yeah, there is just an extra frame on either side for the left animation, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same here. I'm gonna add the frame here and here. I just want these ones though. So here, here. Okay, so now that is the same, but it looks entirely different in this case. So if I play this, the one on the left is quite visual, but then the one on the right, you can just feel the squash and stretch. I might actually, for this one, just pull it down slightly more, but not overly so. And the other frames, yeah, that's fine. I'm also going to change the left one to differentiate it from the right hand one. So I'm going to change this to, I believe it's ball type 1. Yeah. Makes it look like a rubber ball. They bounce together. Perfect. Alright, I think I'm satisfied with that. What do you think, chat? Do we think that this is squashed and stretched enough for these two? I think this is good enough. I even managed to get the loop perfectly. Also, I've ordered myself a book today, and it's supposed to be really good for people who are getting to animation. It's called the Animator's Survival Kit. It was something that was recommended on the P2 Academy animation course, which, by the way, I am planning on going through as well at some point. You squashed and stretched those balls exceptionally well. I should hope so. Because, I mean, like, this is going to be really important for things like warp cycles. Because you don't really think about it, but everything squashes and stretches in some form or another. Like, when you think about, say, you smell something bad and your face does the thing where it, like, it does the thing, that's a squash. Okay, save this as vanilla bounce. Stretch practice. So we've got that one going. Now we're on to probably what is the more difficult of the two. We're going to be using, I believe it is this one. Now this one's going to be a bit more difficult because not only do I have to do squash and stretch, I have to take rotation into account as well. I'm not doing like the rolling thing that I've been doing with, say, the obstacle course and that. But when it hits the ground and goes to squash and stretch in the other direction to bounce, it is going to have to roll over a point on the ground. So we're back with this little buddy right here. So I'm not going to... I'm actually going to keep this moving. So I'm going to make two versions of this. So the first one, which is going to maintain its height, which is more or less a character bouncing along the ground. And this one, I'm going to squash and stretch this so it moves along. So I'm going to duplicate this collection. I'm going to hide both of these. So this one here follows the same path, but I'm going to edit this to do some bouncing. Like some proper bouncing, I mean. So I'm going to just completely obliterate all of these. Like all these keyframes. I'm just going to have it be bouncing at a set height the entire time. Squash, stretch, and twist. Oh my god. Yeah, it really is... okay, I'm gonna make the joke. It really is ball torture today, isn't it, huh? Except the only one being tortured here is me. So, update paths. So we'll start with the... Actually, I'll just Alt-G this. Get this off screen. And GZ save sufficient? Yeah, we'll say 3 meters off the ground is sufficient for this one. So, add a X location here. Y doesn't really matter. Okay, just insert single keyframe there, single keyframe there. So we'll go to this frame here and just Alt G. Actually, I can just get rid of the Z-axis entirely for now. This one. And we'll say it takes... Would 3 seconds be reasonable to get across the screen? Probably. Let's have a look-see. Also, I want these two to be linear handles. So I'll set that to vector and update the path on that. I say 120 frames is 3 seconds as though I'm animating in 30 frames a second. I'm not. I'm animating in 24. I'm pretty sure that's the case with this one, right? This is the 24 frames a second file. Yes. Okay. Oh, so... For a second, I need to pull out the calculator. That was the longest 3 seconds of my life. That could be said for a lot of things, honestly. Okay, so it's actually 72 frames, I just realized. Alright, let's try that again with actual 3 seconds this time. Oh. Update paths. I thought that started at 0, but apparently not. Okay, what is going on here? First of all, it's starting on frame 4. Okay, get rid of all these. Frame 1, GX, and all the way out here. Vector, update paths. Surely that's 3 seconds. Surely. Alright, let's just start inserting frames here. 3. So have it fall every, say, 11 frames. Or 12. 12 would be better. 12 can be the middle of the squash stretch frame. So, G. It was 3 seconds. I know that amount of time like the back of my hand. I have to question why. Like, I do, like, what need do you have to... What need do you have to be able to time 3 seconds accurately? I'm going to send this out to 73. That's the average amount of time between my heartbeats. Again, I have to ask why you need to know this. Like, I'm not gonna dig into details, but it just seems a bit odd. Zero. And then, yeah, add this set to 3 again. So now, if I update all the paths, it should do a funny little wiggly worm thing. Alright, hide the x-axis. Well, to be honest, I can only talk out of my ass for so long until my brain craps out. Fair enough. I have that problem too, and that's ironic coming from the person who live streams. Like, streaming as a job is just training you how to talk out of your ass for the longest possible amount of time. That's it. That's the entire business. Okay, now I have to take this into account. That one should be in there. And now all of these, I'll just quickly set those to vector to make sure that's not doing anything weird. Now the problem is that the x-axis needs to stall here. So I need to go to the x-axis. I need to insert a keyframe on each of these and somehow manage to get this to stay in the middle. Because if I look at this right now, it just looks like it's doing some weird hopping stuff. Which is not quite the way character bounce works. So how can I make this more accurate? Like, I think that the way that I do this is to get rid of that. Perfect time for jiggle physics? No, it is not. I am not adding jiggle physics to this. Not yet. The jiggle physics comes much later down the pipeline, okay? So I would need to flatten. wonder if changing these actually probably won't work. I need to set these to make the hands first. Can I snap to here's one. Okay, it literally won't let me snap to the same marker. So screw it, I guess I do it by hand. Okay, so that stays roughly in the middle. The problem is trying to get this to stay stable. Don't you laser eyes me, likely. Also, chances are if I'm doing jiggle physics, I'm streaming somewhere completely different. So don't get your hopes up, you're not going to see this on Twitch or YouTube. So same with this one. So insert keyframe here. Insert keyframe there. Need to make sure these are vectored. Paths. So now if I do this. Yeah, okay, that's a lot better. So now I've just got to do this last one. So insert frame here. Insert frame here. Vector channels and grab this. Oh. So now I play this. Okay, excellent. So now it's doing that pause in between the hops, and now I can do the squash and stretch motion. And this is actually going to be quite easy for me, because I can see the path that the ball is taking. So I can see it move about. And you know what? I'm going to make this slightly harder on myself, because I do not like myself. We're going to animate this to be rotated towards the direction of where it's going to land. As if I haven't made my life as difficult as possible with the last set of animations I was doing. But let's be honest, if you're a streamer, you probably already don't like yourself in the first place. I'll probably alternate between using the top and bottom for this animation. I feel like would be the best course of action. We'll see. Okay, I need to animate the X and Y for this one. That, and then The thing is, like, I need to have it already rotated towards... Oh, I guess I'm using the spin on this one too. Okay, I'm going to get rid of the squash. So where is the squash stretch? It's right here. Just not have that going at all. So now it should just be bouncing like that. Alright, time for the... Don't need the body anymore, so I'll just work with the spin for now. So I don't like the fact that it's not spinning when it moves. So this is rotating in the y-axis for this one. And insert keyframe there. Is this not working? Yes, it is. Okay. Just mine. Say around about 8 minutes. This one. So it goes here. Okay, that clicks too much. You know what? I feel like this would probably be a poor idea anyway. I'll have a look at the lesson plan for a second so we can like chat more and figure out what the hell he wants. Okay, so it like moves towards it, but it looks like the bounce is moving via the stretch control here and not via the spin control of the ball itself. Okay, good to know. Delete all those. Zero that out, get rid of those, and get rid of the spin. Okay, so back to this. So move this towards here. So right. What was happening here? Why is there keyframe? Whose keyframe is this? Okay, I'm just gonna remove all these before I drive myself completely insane. Just start with the bottom one first. So that next frame. I didn't keyframe because I'm a dumbass. Try that again without the stupid jelly. Except now it needs to be moved in the other direction. Which is fine. I can just copy that, go into this one, and paste that. Actually, I didn't even need to do that at all. But now I do it this way. I can even... I'm sorry. What? Hey, Foxy, how you doing? We are now punishing the balls for their transgressions. Okay, I need to move these over one frame. So if I play this... Okay, not too bad. And then here I need to Alt-G this. I was wondering which one would... I'm sorry, I was wondering which one point out. Likely, are you good? Which one you'd point out? Okay, and now here. Should be these. I might add a couple frames at the top where it's actually finished arcing, we'll see. Because I would like to have the stretch not be so obvious at the top. These. Remembering, I've got to do 2 balls here as well. But I'm gonna have the second one be the original arcing bounce. Did that one not take? No, that did. Oh, I forgot to add the midpoint here. That's why it wasn't working as intended. There we go. And I also want to add one on the outside here. So where it stops here. And then one on the other side to just give the illusion that it was doing the exact same stuff before. So if I play this now. Okay, that's a good start, but I feel like there's probably a bit of improvement I can do here. First of all, I think I want to do the exaggeration a little bit more on both of these. So on the actual squash and stretch. I can never look past the message that has the word balls in it. I'm very mature, I know. So what did you think about the Discord announcement for this stream, huh? I'm sure that one was quite the eye-opener for you there, Foxy. I'm gonna go maybe... Go 4 frames beforehand. Okay, that one. So it should be even on both sides. Then I can duplicate these. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Now, no comment on my ball jiggle physics chat. As I said, not until much later and probably not on a public live stream. I kind of want... Like, I sort of want it to be rotating still, but I don't want it to be stretching necessarily. I know that sounds really specific, but I feel like it should still be... Actually, maybe I should add the stretch to be much later. Like, the end and start but to be much closer to the top points. Let's try 3 frames out from each of these. That was my favorite. This doesn't look good out of context. Send. I love how just everyone is like Lamau balls and jiggle physics. YouTube's gonna have a field day with me about this stream, huh? I wonder if the bounce height needs to be a bit higher on this slot. Or the arcs to be a little sharper. Just the panic emojis and the spray bottle. So how's he got this? He's got the bounce quite a fair bit higher. And the stretch a lot more exaggerated. So yeah, I think I will make the bounce a lot higher on this one. This is not a good image to put in my head because my dirty mind. Yeah. No promises, but if I ever do those types of streams, like, it'll probably be restricted to, like, obviously specific audiences. But I have not decided whether or not I'm actually going to go through with that. Let's grab all of these and drag them a bit higher. I'm gonna say maybe 4 for this one. Probably around about here. And then I'm actually gonna make these a bit sharper. Make those a bit sharper. And these ones here. Okay. So if I do this now, the exaggerated movement should make it a bit better. Okay, that's good, but I want it to be rotating and stretching a bit earlier than this. I want it to be probably even more exaggerated, right? Probably like around about here. So if I shift that and then make that positive, so it goes in that direction. Actually, I'll even try and align this to properly go with the curve bounce. By the way, Cyclone, did you see the clip I sent you? It's quite funny. I haven't watched it yet, I'm sorry. I will watch it probably after stream. But I was in a bit of a pickle earlier, so I didn't have much time to look at anything on Discord right before stream. No worries. Okay. Just these. So now it should have the more extended bounce type. So now I think what I have to do for this is I have to set them to something. Probably, I'm gonna try vectored on this one and see how it works. I think that works a bit better. What do we think, chat? Do we think this is bouncy and stretchy enough, or do we have to go even further than this? Actually, what I can do, and it's probably not quite realistic, but I think it would add a little bit of character, is to have the ball squash very minimally at the top of its arc. Just to, like, give it a bit of recoil, almost, from the fact that it hit the ground and was all the way up in the air. Like, not very much, just a very small amount from the bottom, perhaps. Because, like, I'm looking at the animation, and the arc bouncing is quite large on this one. Also, it hits the ground quite hard. Maybe I want to make the bounces a bit sharper on this thing. Just a little stretch on the top, as a treat. just a tiny amount of stretch at the top. Just like a very minimal amount. Actually, I can even, and this is going to sound a little unorthodox, have like a little bit of stretch before going into a perfect sphere at the top. Hang on, I'll show you what I mean by that. So, this one here, just, where is it? So it curves here. I want to take maybe a Foxy, what's with the begging emoji? You really want to see balls get squashed this badly? And then duplicate this. But say set this to be minus. So okay, how did that happen? Why is there now suddenly two of them? Okay, and then set this one to be minus. Must have accidentally grabbed both of them at the same time. Okay, I think that's a bit much. So I'm going to remove both of these. So it's rolling just fine, I think. Maybe the stretch is a bit too much now, do we think, chat? Or is this a fine enough amount of stretch for this animation? What's the next set of animations they have to do? Ball jump, which I assume it's just an extended amount of squash and stretch motion. Probably has rotation in it too. After that's anticipation and motion graphics, which is not something I was expecting. And then after the motion graphics, we've got character ball. And then after that, it will be actual character related stuff. So I think it's overlapping action, so yeah. I mean, I have a BF, so nah, I'm good. What do you mean by that, Foxy? Wait, that's a jiggle at the top? Oh my goodness. Yes, it's a little bit of a jiggle, very minimal amount, but we're not talking actual physics here. Foxy? Is my chat just bullying me at this point? Don't you cap at me, Foxy. How dare you? I'm getting laser-eyed again. Okay. Alright, chat. Okay. I'm getting bullied by my own chat, and not even things I want to be bullied over, like the animation. They're just bullying me in general. Such as the life of a streamer, I suppose. Okay, I think I adjust these so it's almost directly next to the frame, perhaps. Maybe that will give me the better motion. I'm gonna grab these two. Okay, I know this is gonna sound a bit weird. What if I mixed like the Bezier motion with the... Okay, so you know how like I'm doing these bounces here, where I mix a Bezier at the top and then a vector at the bottom? What if I did the same for the actual bouncing animation? So what if I... say I had this at automatic. So that automatically curves it. And then same on the other side. And automatic curve that. So it curves at the top, but it's vector at the bottom. You're just laughing at me being upset because my own Twitch chat's bullying me. That sounds about right for everyone who's in my chat, to be honest. Okay, chat, I think I have to remove a singular keyframe in between each one of these animation points. Like, on each of these curves, because I feel like it's almost a bit too slow. I don't know why I had this thing where I feel like everything's too slow. Because realistically, I don't think that is. Yeah, I'm gonna set these to be one frame in between and just set the curve on each of these to be automatic instead. This is a bit off topic, I'm not gonna lie. Watching that ball bounce makes you think of VeggieTales. Is it just me? I don't know. I've never watched it. Like, I legitimately have never watched VeggieTales. And set the height like that. And then same the other side. Okay, you know what? I feel like that's better. So the idea is to have this bounce across the screen and then have the other ball core memory revealed. For real. Except it's a core memory of everyone in chat and not one of mine. Makes me think of Bob Tomato. Really? To be fair, I did not expect my animations to be compared to religious programming. Nonetheless, one of the most popular ones imaginable. But hey, I'll take it. So we have that going across screen now. And then, after that goes fully off screen, in fact, I might even... Is that visible? I'm gonna check the pass pouch. So that's not visible on screen until frame 2, which is what I wanted. And then that goes off screen. So like, if I wanted to loop this, I absolutely could. Literally grew up with VeggieTales, so to me, I'd take it as a compliment. Fair enough. Alright, so that bounces off screen just fine. And then for the other ball animation, I'm going to have that come in after that one. Like, say, frame 80 maybe? So, I know there's a way to set a marker. Where is it? Here it is, marker. So, frame 80. I can introduce the new ball here. And then go on like that. So now I can get rid of those. Add this back in. The theme song is now in my head. Thanks a lot, brain. Get got, dumbass. Alrighty. And Osmo time. Grab all of these. Actually, why is there keyframes at the end here? Oh, it's because that's the original animation. So I need to grab all of these. Or even just... Oh, snapping's still on. Oopsies. Frame. I do believe it actually said fine, so it's like I know why it's not snapping correctly. Oh well. So go to frame 220 perhaps. Okay, cool. I mean, I'd rather have that one in my head rather than the love chicken one. Have you seen that, okay. Try placing it with the Nyan Cat song, I'll give you the lyrics. Thanks, likely. Now I've got that stuck in my head, too. Have you seen the... Okay, so... I believe it's either Minecraft TikTok or Minecraft Instagram, has pulled a Creeper 2.0. So they had a video where there was a chicken running away from Minecraft Jack Black singing the Lava Chicken song. Joke's on you, I actually vibed to that song, fair enough. But the chicken looks fat. Like, I was watching a Phoenix SC video on it yesterday, and like, what a bizarre thing to actually, like, have happen. Because you would think they would check everything before posting stuff like that on their Instagram and TikTok. But I guess not. Also, this hasn't been updated properly. Selected frame range. Okay, I guess I have to set this manually. Yeah, let's set it to 20. And yet somehow... Oh, it's because, the update only goes so far. So this would have been the original stop roughly around here. Yeah, 130. It would have been looking at 130. Run that back again. So the chicken looks fat. And I think the reason for it because the Phoenix SC video was analyzing it. Apparently what's happened is that, you know with the pigs, how the body got flipped due to a coding error, and that's how we got creepers to begin with? So they've done the exact same thing. What about I got bitches by A2M? I've never heard that. But the chicken body got flipped in the same way. You'd think they'd double check that before, like, posting anything, right? Second range. So I have to recalculate this. Yeah, there we go. So now, once this is finished bouncing, so bounces like that, goes off screen for a few frames, and then this one comes in and does the thing. Can't say I've heard of that one either. I've never heard the song. Although, to be fair, I'm an uncultured little shit, as one might say. Also, fat chicken. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know how long ago it was. I'm going to quickly search this up. Obviously, like, you get the thicken if you search up fat chicken in Minecraft, but... Instagram? No, it wasn't. Okay, I'm just going to quickly mute my stream audio so I don't accidentally get DMCA'd, so just give me a moment. Alright, so... Is it this one? Oh, did they remove it? Okay, I'm gonna pull up the Phoenix SC video for this one. It's my favorite song to test the waters, see if I can sing in front of a new partner. Honestly, fair enough. Okay, I found the part of the video, so I'm gonna mute this. So this is an actual thing that was posted to Minecraft's Instagram. Does anyone see what's wrong with this? Like, it is so obvious when you look at it as a still frame. I don't know if you'd be able to pick that up during, like, the course of the actual video. But there is no way you wouldn't normally be able to... Okay, that was just, YouTube telling me that my audio was muted. But, like, huh? How do you miss this? chomp? Yeah, for real. Like, it's tall. And, like, it's just the body being flipped. Like, I'm gonna go to the start of this video. Preferably not on a frame where he's staring at its ass. But that's actually what the chicken would look like in this case. So they somehow managed to flip the body so it's vertical instead of horizontal. And honestly, like, imagine mini creepers though. Likely? No. No, don't get me banned off of Twitch. Please, I am begging you. They're already side-eyeing me for the whole ball animation. You do not need to make my suffering worse. Please, I beg you. Okay, but outside of that, yeah, like, I don't know how you'd miss that. Although in saying that, I've missed quite a fair bit when it comes to animation, so I suppose I can't really make too much comment on that. Okay, I'm gonna remove some frames on these. Why is it slippery? I'm sorry, did I accidentally remove a setting? Okay, yeah. Like, the magnet's on by default. I'm gonna remove one frame either side for this one here. I'm actually gonna remove 2 frames off the start though. And then this one. I don't think I need to remove any frames from these ones. Like, off of these end ones here. So if I update the paths, yeah. Cool. My chat went from bullying me to trying to get me banned. Now that's a villain speedrun if I've ever seen one. Alright, now we need to edit this in. So I need to duplicate this keyframe here, and I need to have this angle be the exact same heading out. Like, if I look at this, these should all be vectored. Actually, no. Never mind, because these ones need to have the roll on the end. So, makes contact on this frame. So I'm gonna insert on all channels. And then I went fishing and all I caught was crabs. Like Mr. Krabs. Oh wait, I accidentally did the thing. Okay, let's duplicate this. One frame on the side. So one frame there. Grab these. Because, like, it's pretty easy. I don't have to change the trajectory of this side. Just grab these two and vector those. Oh yeah, chat, do you have any recommendations on what I should add to my commands list? And before anyone asks, no, I am not adding a balls command. Foxy, don't. I already knew you were gonna do it. I'm telling you, no. No ball command. So, like, 2 frames on this one, and then I start just basically doing these right next to each other. So I'll probably add it like 1 frame earlier. And then like these last ones I'll just do by ear, I think. Alright, do the squash and stretch here. Just to hopefully make this look a little bit better. Alright, I shall set this back to 5 so I can see what's going on the screen. Feel like this could have been the original message. What message is that? Actually, come to think of it, I don't think the commands... I think I wrote that in. Like, I think I legitimately wrote that in. So... I guess I kind of do write like a bot, huh? Whoops. So, like that here. Oh, whoops, I forgot to set in the keyframes. Yippee! I mean, like, the amount of times I've been accused of being a bot's actually honestly comical. So... I mean, like, yeah, I guess. I think it's just because of the deadpan voice, though. So, this frame, like, really squish it down. I not? Oh, I forgot to roll over a keyframe. And then I duplicate this one onto this frame, and then make sure I do that. I'm actually gonna move this to be a little less stretched. Because, like, the first one's really stretched. I think it's probably over enough. A little less stretched than those things. And then that. And duplicate this one. Right. And then make these here. I'm sorry, did I nail this perfectly on the first try? What the fuck? Okay, chat, I swear that wasn't intentional. I wasn't even counting. I just put it in a random position and happened to get it on the exact frame that it needed to be on. Huh? How? Like, you can see, there's no numbers on these markers. Like, there's no way I could have even read that. So I'm gonna duplicate this and give it like, the bullshit I'm able to pull off scares me sometimes. Duplicate that. Duplicate that one. Okay, I need to reduce the squish on this. Because obviously, like, the first squish is going to be quite hard. And then it's a little bit softer because it's not falling as far. Uh, Aliga, thank you for the follow. At least I hope that's how I pronounce that. Right, and then another squash frame, this time evenly so. At this point, we're getting to the stage where there's no need to squash it anymore, if that makes any sense. Like, after this one here, I probably won't even bother squashing it for these last two bounces. And then... Okay, strange. How am I going to... Oh, wait, I can use the old trick. I was like, how would I go about squashing and stretching at that point? But there is that one trick that I can do. So I need to... grab this. I actually need to move it over this way. Like, not very much, just enough. So in between here, I need to somehow... Okay, it's probably a bit too much, actually. So, is that too snappy? Let's watch what it looks like so far. I can't tell if it's too snappy or not. I'm gonna say no for now, it's not too much. Also, this is like way too much of here. Probably like 200 almost. Okay, like, I'm thinking at the end, knowing my sub expired just as I was about to send a funny whatchamacallit, bruh. That's unfortunate. Okay, like, at the end, maybe I should have the ball do, like, a little jig. Just, like, have it stop at the end, and then just, like, do this. I think that'd be kind of funny. I mean, to be fair, the instructor did say have fun with this. And... on that. Now I can only lick from one side. No, please stop. Why are you like this, likely? You're gonna set Foxy off again. Then I'm gonna have to go and get the bat and spray bottle just to deal with the two of you. Okay, let's duplicate this one. If it will let me. Thank you. I wonder if I can get away with a squash frame here. Like, have this frame here. Foxy's just laughing in the background. Okay, I'm gonna Alt-G this. Actually, I can just set this to negative. Because I wonder if switching to bottom at this point would make my life just a smidge easier. So if I Alt G, actually that's not too bad. I'd need to okay, maybe make this one. And then have it like so. Jesus, and then very mildly this direction, just have it bounce. Like barely noticeable. And then check this. That one. Minus that. And then this one. Make this. And then, like, at this point, like, probably point poach. Like, you're not really seeing much of a squash and stretch here. Grab this. And this one. Yeah. Alright, let's see what it looks like. So, from frame T. Let's try it. It's probably too much at some of these points. Like, the rocking movement between these is rough. Especially these two here. Like, anyone else feel that? Like, these here are moving too much. Like, this movement here I think is fine. But it's just the snap to this one. Probably needs to be a little bit less. Probably needs to be far more minimal than it actually is. So let's move here perhaps. Okay, there. Yeah. And that's that. Alright, so yeah, it needs a really big bounce like those half ball things. Oh, like the what is it, pop sockets? I believe that's what they were called. Or pop balls rather. Like, I know the exact ones you're talking about. It's cool. I know the exact one you're talking about because I have one sitting on my desk and I accidentally keep, like, getting myself in the face with it every so often. Yeah, like, I know the ones you're talking about. It's these bastards. Like these half sphere pop ball things. But yeah, I have one on my desk, and it's one of the old ones, which means it didn't have the same safety precautions as these ones. Like, where is it? Oh wait, I think I chucked it in my... Yeah, I chucked it in my cabinet. But it's like a yellow smiley face one. It has that plastic center with the middle bit sticking through the hole. And that thing bounces, like, it goes high. Those things scared me as a kid. Yeah, it sounds like a bloody gun going off. Like 90% of the time. It's really loud. And God forbid should you accidentally get your hand smacked with the plastic cap or one of those things, because that hurts. Like, for real, that thing just really hurts. Like, it would leave a welt, basically. But yeah, now it's taken over by these, whatever these things are, sensory balls. But yeah, these things here, except the plastic and metal in the middle. Amazon calls it hip hop pops? Really? No, we just used to call them pop balls. Also, I need to change the animation of all these to be linear for a start, or vector rather, so that the bouncing is more consistent. Actually, no, that looks better with the... It's not just the sound, it's the part where you have to physically press it down and hope it doesn't hit you. Yeah, exactly, that is what I am saying. Those things hurt like hell if you get it wrong. Like, the second you get that thing wrong, say goodbye to, like, the middle of your hand for the next couple of days, because you are not closing your hand. Okay, it's like a little bit better, but I still think that this stuff here is moving too much. Also, I see that jiggle at the top. Yeah, I need to add a, the colors remind me of Jawbreakers for real, though. Why do they make them look so edible, but knowing damn well that putting one of those in your mouth is going to break your teeth? Like, I know damn well the second you put one of those in your mouth and that thing goes off, you're going to have a massive dental bill waiting for you. They do, though? Yeah, they really do. Like, I was looking at that one that looks like it's a, like, dark blue, pale blue swirl, and I was like, huh, that looks like a candy. And honestly, younger me would be dumb enough to try and eat that. Like, no joke. She absolutely would. So I'm gonna move this to be... My buddy got jaw surgery 2 years ago. My congratulatory gift to him was a 6-inch jawbreaker. Foxy, you are an asshole for that. I hope you realize that. Like, I sincerely hope that you know there's a special... Sorry, Foxy? Likely, rather. Foxy did nothing wrong. Likely, I sincerely hope you know that there is a special place in hell for people like you. Because, my god, what is wrong with you? Yeah, Foxy, you dick. Look, I misspoke, okay? I thought it was Foxy because I saw his orange name right above the Nightbot thing. Hey, look, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. Likely, on the other hand, you are going straight to hell for that one. There is no redemption for that sort of sin. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna say 5 out from this one. What did I do? You did nothing. I'm sorry, I genuinely misspoke. Now Foxy's pissed at me. I'm sorry, okay? I truly didn't mean it. I'm gonna say this is actually good enough here. Okay, so taking all those adjustments into account. Nothing yet. No, it's okay, Cyclonic. I was referring to their message. I mean, to be fair, I was the one who started it, so... Whoopsies. I'm gonna say... Oh, I actually didn't add any still frames to this. Probably do that. Say 1 frame line side should be enough. Okay. That's long. I think that looks a bit better now that I've added all those extra frames in between. I'd probably say that this section here is still moving a bit too much. Like, that probably needs to be... probably a bit less than that. Even though I know that's logically the exact same as that side, it's still a bit too much. I'm gonna say 0 on this one. Alright, let's try that. So let's watch the stretches. Wait, is something going on here? What's going on with this? Okay, maybe 1 frame closer. Feels a bit smoother. Okay, that feels a bit better. What do we think, chat? Hopefully the movement's not too sharp. Actually, there is something I can do to fix that. So, I want the motion at the top of each of these. So, these 2 frames specifically to be automatic. What if jiggle instead of bounce? Likely. Please, I don't want to get TOS. Not today. I am not doing jiggle physics today specifically. Okay? Some other time, not today though. Did these not go correctly? Okay, it needs to be aligned, not automatic. Okay, my mistake. Chat's fault, but my mistake. My money don't jiggle, it falls. I wish I didn't know that particular song. I wish I didn't. Thanks for cursing me, Foxy. Appreciate it. Okay, have I done too much on this now? Literally, anytime someone says jiggle jiggle, that's what comes into my head. I mean, fair enough, but still, bruh. Do it. Where's the song? I accidentally muted both the channels. That was not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was I wanted to mute this. Here it is. Foxy, I swear to God. Why like this? So if I have to suffer, you must suffer with me. Do I really need to, though? I have a thing called a spray bottle. I also have a baseball bat, but I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use the spray bottle. Also, I'm going to mute that before the recorder starts because it is actually quite annoying. Anyway, where was I? Right, bouncing animation. I don't think that the aligned handles are doing me any good in this case. Hey, I got a spray bottle too. Good, use it on yourself. I feel like the Candace for that particular set of words I just said is probably more applicable to something else that is said to people in that particular tone. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the stretch is not enough on these, and it's actually more rocking than anything else. Nah, I'm good. I'm sure you are. However, that does not change my opinion that you probably should, in lieu of an actual shower, use the spray bottle at least. Oh, it's because, there's no contact frame here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this over one. I'm actually going to make this squished. You brought this upon yourself, Foxy. This is your problem now. I know why it feels like it's rocking. It's because it actually is. No, you. I actually take daily showers, Foxy. Okay, move that back along. Maybe squash this one before moving it out, possibly. Foxy, what is that emote? Where did you get that and why do you have it? Okay, so that's like 1.8. This needs to probably be... probably like 0.7 maybe? Teabag? Why do you have a teabag emote? Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother questioning it at this point. Not even going to bother. Handle type vector. Make sure it's actually smooth. Where are we? Because Dead Before Daylight. Dead Before Daylight, I mean, to be fair, it is actually probably a valid excuse in this case. Actually, you know what? That can stay is the thing here. I need to edit some of these because this keyframe isn't necessary. Neither is that one. Neither is that one. These work functionally the same, except I just have less keyframes I need to work with. I'm sorry, does this feel like it's moving faster to anyone else? Or am I really just off my rocker at this point? Either or is a valid option here. Also, I was gifted the sub, so it's not like I did because I wanted to. Oh, I'm sure, Foxy. I'm sure that being gifted a sub from a Dead Before Daylight streamer is the biggest inconvenience in the world to you. Honestly, like, I'm surprised that Twitch, alleviated the rule on dumpy emotes. I'm back, internet crapped out. It do be like that sometimes. Like, I'm genuinely surprised that Twitch allows them at this point. Like, I know the reason why is because there was a huge petition to get the emotes back, but I'm genuinely surprised that they even went through with it to begin with. Also, that's not the worst emote he has anyways. Foxy, I don't need to know what the worst emote he has is, thanks. Like, I genuinely don't need to know. It's fine. I promise. Does he have... Likely, please. Please, no joking in my chat, please. I would rather Twitch not get upset with me. Even though this is completely out of my control at this point. I'm just trying to sit here peacefully and squash and stretch the balls. I feel like it rotates too much here. Like, still, like, that is fine. Like, this one here probably needs to be duplicated. And then this needs to be positive. No, wrong one. And then this one... This needs to be lower a bit. this? Too late, already looking for the streamer who had. Of course you are. Got the whole ass FBI in here looking for emotes. And I'm just sitting here like, please. I think that looks alright. Like, it almost turns into a normal ball at the end, even though it squashes and stretches a lot at the start. So let's have a look at the full animation, shall we? Oh, right, the other one's invisible, I forgot. Whoopsies. Alright, let's try that again. So it bounces along. I can actually change the thing here. I think it has quite a fair bit of character to it. To be fair, this has been far more fun than doing that goddamn obstacle course. Foxy, why are you hitting the panic button? Why are you hitting the panic button? Should I be concerned? I don't have the nuclear alarm set up for anything other than, like, a really stupidly large raid, but that's about it. I forget how much it is exactly, but I have like, one of those tactical nuke incoming sound alerts for whenever a huge amount of people come in through a raid. I think it's 5,000 plus or something thereabouts. Like, what it is quite a fair amount. I'm gonna say this one here. So everything outside of frame 80, I'm gonna move it probably 10 more frames to frame 90, just to give the time to absorb the first one before going on to the second one. Oh good lord, what the hell happened? Okay, pose mode, thank you. Okay, and why is it still doing the weird thing? Like, you don't need to do that, please stop. Why does it suddenly decide that it wants to do this? I'm gonna have to go into the dope sheet for this. Okay, yeah, I did. I had to go into the dope sheet. Calculate that. Is it just me, or is the second bounce off? No, it is correct. Let's go back to frame I want to double check the animation. And then 220. I wonder if I have it, like you guys said earlier, have it act like a pop ball, just squash it all the way down and then just shoot it up at an incredibly high speed. I think that... I'm just going to double check the graph editor here for a second. And I want the thing here. Yeah, no, that is correct. So, just like that. Yeah, I think I was just tripping for a second there when I was moving it. I thought I messed it up, and my brain just catastrophized that to the point where it looked like it messed up, but it hadn't. It feels weird, almost like it's in the air, but it's not. Like at this point, it feels like it's in the air in the middle here, but it's just the speed that it's at. Actually, do I need to decrease the... No, the amount of time it's in the air is fine. Okay, so then... At what point does this stop moving? 213. So I'm going to extend this to, say, 240. So I'm going to give it... What I can do here is I can actually just plus 24. So give me the... Actually, no, that's fine. And then here, I'm going to go back one frame. I'm going to insert keyframe here. One frame later. Actually, I've got a couple frames later. So say 1, 2, 3, 4. And then drag that down. Just really just go whoop. And then 1, 2. Just duplicate that. And then I'm going to have this go up into the air and I'm going to have it really stretched out. So here, I'm going to make this like comically stretched. So on the frame that it goes into full snap is going to be the frame that it starts moving at. So here, I'm going to insert keyframe here, and say here, I'm going to have this go completely off screen. Just really make it go zoom. Okay, that's not fast enough for me, chat. Let's go 3 frames sooner. Like, I want this thing to motor. Actually, I want to move this one frame later. So, like, when it takes off, it's stretching out. I don't want it to be just static in mid-air, just a round ball. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, and the reason why this looks so strange is because this here, where it goes up, these need to be vectored. So if I put that to vector, that should just zoom. So it comes to a stop and squashes and stretches. Actually, I might have this as aligned and then move this one frame closer. Now it just teleports off screen. Like, this would be a lot funnier if it had motion blur. But I don't think I can use motion blur in this assessment. Because the entire point is to, like, have the animations there fully visible. And I know for a fact I'm going to get pinged if I use motion blur. But it'd be so funny to have it at the very end. Just to go... Nyum. And then... Whoop, and there it goes. Now if I start frame 1. So... hide all these. And again, I forget to unhide this. And then, whoop, there it goes. I'll give it probably 70 to 70, just to give it just a little bit of time before it repeats. So that does that. Bounces across screen. I might make the... just add a UFO, like I could do. But I think the thing just squashing and then zooming off screen is just infinitely funnier. So I'm going to keep it the way it is at the moment. So I'm going to edit this to not roll back as far. So if I look at the X specifically, I'm going to remove the keyframe here because the keyframe X is completely unnecessary. Y. Yeah, so it should slow to a stop slightly. Maybe just a bit too much. There we go. So it bounces along all happily. Yeah, and then just zooms off. Okay, I think that's a good show, chat. Might edit this slightly below. Change these to aligned. If I change this slot to aligned, how does that change things? A little bit, yeah. Actually, it doesn't change it at all. Alright. there it goes. Anyway, I'm going to save this as Arcing Ball. Now let's practice. Oh, actually, practice. Let's do squash and stretch here. Right, I think we are good for the stream. That was pretty, like, that's pretty productive, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, do I have anyone to raid tonight? Anyone of interest? Does not look like it. There's a lot of 18 plus, so I know the chat's fine with that, but I'm not sure how they'd feel about me just being an absolute lunatic. Sorry, I just saw an emote design. It's like one of the Korean streamers, but it just there's 1,000-yard stare on that emote, huh? Anyway, I shall see y'all in the next stream. Hopefully, I'll succeed on this assignment, and then I can go on to ball jump, whatever that might happen to be. Alright, I'll see y'all later.